What is up, y'all? Welcome to week 3 of Summer Summit Bloom. And this week we kind of focus on professionalism and post-grad life stuff, things that you could do after graduating and kind of jumping into the real world. Today, our topic will be focusing on Networking 101 and basically how y'all could use like LinkedIn, your resume, and the people around you to basically expand your network and find a better way to kind of put your job out there and have different experiences. Today, my name is Fred, and I'll be going through the first section of Networking 101. So solidifying your resume is kind of the first step that you want to do when you're kind of applying to jobs. These are basically the main points that should be on your resume: your name, contact info with the email, website, LinkedIn, and other important links that you want to use as a contact form, and what your education is, relevant courses that you've taken, what degrees you've gotten, or what your degrees you're working on. Adding skills, so like leadership, conflict resolution, or more specifically, you could go into skills such as different programs that you utilize like Photoshop, WordPress, Final Cut Pro, etc., etc. And then the experiences is what should take the good chunk of your resume, which will kind of go over more so what you've done, the details of those things that you've done, and the analytics behind all of that. So what should your resume look like based on the job? Unless you're an art or design major, your resume should be pretty straightforward and to the point. You don't want too many things going under the resume just because a lot of recruiters and employers just kind of look for the basic and important things to look for within a certain job position or job opening. They don't necessarily look for how the layout is of the design of the resume and things like that. But if you're a graphic designer / artist, it's kind of a really important factor to put into your resume. You don't want it to be too much, but just enough to kind of show a little flair and that you're able to do some type of design work. So for graphic designers and artists, resume should be still well kept with slight incorporations of design bits. And you want to make sure to incorporate your character, your personality, things that you would describe as your aesthetic into your little resume. And then for fine tuning, make sure all of your information is to the point and concise. You don't want to like blabber about too many things. You just want to cut straight to it, give the numbers, and give the proper description. So for example, on the left, this is the type of resume you would use for more so like businesses, STEM positions, etc., analytics, data stuff, bio work. So what this person did, Sophia put her name at the top. You want to make that nice, big and bold. And then the education at the bottom, and following that experiences is a very straightforward type of resume that goes from top to bottom. And then for here, I inserted my resume for creatives. This is not the best one that you could have, but this is just the one I have on hand. I have mine with my placement at the top, and then my description of what I do as a graphic designer / videographer. And then on the right panel, I put my my education, skills, and things I've done. And then on the left, the whole list of experiences. And then I wanted to add a touch of my aesthetic and flair by putting my logo at the bottom. So yes, you can see kind of like a very drastic difference between the two, just because you want to put a little bit more of your personality into creative resumes and design work. But for really straight up resumes, you want to keep it to that. So working on your portfolio, first you kind of want to outline your portfolio by having a homepage, an about me, the portfolio where all your work is showing, networking links, and blog posts. And I would say that is more optional. That's if you want to kind of showcase a little bit more about who you are and the processes of things that you do. That's more so for you, but you don't necessarily need that in your portfolio. And basically your portfolio is telling us who you are. In the about me, it is important to go over your recent accomplishments, current work, while also adding personality. Employers need to know who they are hiring, what makes them different from the rest of other applicants. But basically this part of your portfolio adds a little bit more flair and puts a face to who this person is and who they are hiring for that specific company and position that you are applying for. And that adds a whole new depth and layer to the hiring process and makes it a little bit more tangible about who the person is in the process. So within the description, you want to find ways of how to describe yourself. What is your major? What is your current work? What is your most recent past work? What do you aspire to do? And is there a fun fact or special hobby you're interested in? By doing so, you kind of exemplify the different goals and different things that you have accomplished already, while kind of going over things that you're waiting to do, things that you're aspiring to do, and things that you love to do for fun. That adds just a little character and personality to your portfolios. And to display your work, make sure all your work is eligible and individually highlighted. You don't want the work to be overlayered on top of each other, where one piece of work is gonna overpower the other or it's just going to hide stuff. You want to make sure each piece of work is highlighted to its own.
Just as it is important to consistently update and revise your resume, it's also important to create and maintain a LinkedIn profile, especially in 2021, as this platform is often used to find job opportunities and to develop professional connections. Think of your LinkedIn profile as a more extensive version of your resume, where you can showcase yourself even more. A strong LinkedIn profile should have a clear title for yourself, for example, graphic designer, data analyst, media buying and planner, etc. It's key to include all of your experiences and accomplishments, as every experience is an opportunity for you to highlight your growth and skill set. Don't forget to have a nice profile picture taken in soft, natural light if possible. It's helpful to have a friend take the photo for you in a nice resolution. Your header photo is also helpful in drawing attention to your interests or values, but remember that a good header should be simple and not a distraction. Now, before you're actually networking, whether that be through email, LinkedIn, or in person, you should come with a game plan in mind for the best results. So it's important to ask, what are your intentions for networking? Do you want to exchange certain information, gain advice, find educational opportunities, or lend a referral? Who do you want to network with and why? Figuring out who you should network with might be intimidating at first, but a perfect place to start is with people you already know, like past coworkers or friends, who may have connections to other people that align with your interests. Another good option is to reach out to employees that already work at the companies that you are targeting in your job searches. Overall, you can build your network with a wide range of individuals, whether that be alumni from your school to even someone you've just met. How does XYZ relate to the field of work you're interested in? Meaning, it's helpful to know how different companies and their projects can potentially intersect or relate with the field of work you're interested in. What would you like to know from a networking opportunity? It's ideal to research a little bit before actually networking, but during other occasions, it's good to discuss where they work, why do they work there, what other work have they done, and what was their path like. If you're unsure of what path you should take and need advice, it's valuable to hear about the experiences of different people in your fields of interest, and to potentially develop mentorship relationships. How will you connect with them in the future if you plan to? Maybe now you've started networking and you hope to follow up with new connections. A good tip is to organize every contact into an Excel sheet, for example, including their name, other contact information, what was discussed, and a date for following up. Keeping these questions in mind may be beneficial in preparing you for expanding your network and landing job opportunities.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophia, and today we're going to be going over network etiquette in regards to emailing and in-person networking. So here are the 5 pillars that we have, and basically the way that I want to start this off with is by saying that when you are networking with someone, whether it's online or in person, the main thing that you want to focus on is making sure that you are clear with what you want from the other person, you are respectful of their time as well as the work that they are doing that you find is impressive, and making sure that you establish a human connection. Instead of just going out and being greedy and being like, hey, I really want to know about this, how can you help me? You need to make sure that you are genuine in your interest towards this person that you want to connect with. Because a lot of the times, a lot of people who are in jobs that you may find impressive have a lot of things that they need to do. And when it comes to connections and networking later on with people that may help you advance in your career, they want someone who they can relate to, someone who can basically potential in. And so it's really important that you express your mission as a person as to what you want to do with your career and the rest of your life, making sure that you know that what you are doing is a genuine interest towards the other person's career trajectory. So first off, obviously, like I said, the main thing is that you have to be human in your emails. No one wants someone who is like, hey, to whom it may concern, my name is blah, blah, blah. I am interested in this. I would like to have a conversation. You need to establish a relationship with them. You need to give them a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you're focusing on in school, and what you are passionate about, because then that leads to why you are connecting with this person. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is feeding their ego, essentially. It's a little bit of a kissy here, but it's really important when you are connecting with someone that you acknowledge the accomplishments that they've created, because there's a reason that you're connecting with them. You find them impressive, you really like what they've done with their career, you are interested in the path that they took up to where they are now. So it's really important that you acknowledge all of the hard work that they've done, because later on down the line, once you establish that human, genuine relationship, they're going to want to help you. The next thing is that you want to make sure that you are concise with your emailing. So these people that you are connecting with, the ones that you find really impressive, whether it's in a school or a job or maybe an extracurricular that you are really interested in, they have a lot of other things going on. So it's really important that you are short and straight to the point when it comes to these emails, because they have a lot of stuff on their other plates. So when it comes to connecting, you want to keep it right then and there. Be honest with what you want, as well as being genuine. Hey, I am so-and-so. I admire everything that you do because I am passionate in something similar that you are. Is there a possible time that we can meet? Because I would love to discuss this. Straight to the point, it's very clear, and write a little tidbit about why you are genuinely interested in this person's job and what they're doing with their lives. The next thing you want to do after creating an email is making sure you are grabbing their attention with a subject line. So for example, let's say that I am reaching out to someone who is in a higher advancement degree and I'm really interested to see how they got there. So I would say my first name and my last name, and then with a little dash, I'd write, looking for information regarding this type of degree. So it's very attention grabbing. They see my name, and at the same time, they also know what I want. So going back to the point of being concise, I'm very clear with what I want. I'm very genuine. And in the email later on, this person's going to see why I am interested in what I'm interested in, as well as why I respect what the other person is doing and why I want to learn from them. Lastly, it's really important that you are patient because, again, these people have a lot on their plates, but very persistent as well. A lot of the times, these people are very busy, like mentioned before. You want to make sure you give them some time to respond to this email because a lot of the times, their main focus isn't just connecting with other people, it's doing the job that you find impressive. So give them around 7 to 10 days, waiting for them to respond to this follow-up email, and then later on, if they haven't responded, give them a little nudge, write a smaller email of what you just wrote them 7 to 10 days before and be like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I sent you an email a couple of days before discussing A, B, and C. Again, I'm very passionate about this subject and I would love to meet with you. Let's figure out a time.